What's going on, everybody? Happy New Year. It has been so long since I've done one of these Facebook Lives, but I received a beautiful insight for the year 2017, and it was really impactful for me, and I want to share it. I want to share it because it's personally my purpose to impact the world in the most positive way that I possibly can. And for me to give is for me to receive, because every time that I give something, every time that I share something with you and it impacts your life, it feeds me and gives me more than I could ever possibly imagine. And I'm going to talk to you right now about something that happened for me. Hey Veronica, hey Luca, hey Geronimo, hey Emmanuel. Whoop whoop. Love you guys so much. And you guys inspire me, you motivate me, you keep me going. Hey Lydia. Hey Emmanuel, hey Sarah, you all have meant so much for me. You have no clue. Bradley, hello, nice to see you. I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. I absolutely am so grateful for how you all have impacted my life. And normally I do these Facebook Lives from the lake outdoor, but today I am actually indoors by the fire. I'm actually going to turn up the heat here. Got to turn up the heat because it is cold. Guys, it is negative 10 degrees in Minneapolis. In Celsius, let me tell you what that means. Negative 10 in Fahrenheit means about negative 30 Celsius. So it is cold. Negative 25, negative 30. Cody, Happy New Year. Ryan, Happy New Year, guys. Anyways, I'm going to get to it. I'm done, responding because people who are watching the replay now are like, come on, get to it. So I want to share with you guys really what I did and what it created, what kind of result it created in my life. Hello, Pete. I love you so much. And that is the concept of creating the space for what we are asking for in our lives. So I want to share with you guys a concept that hit me just recently and share with you how if you just take it over the next 10 minutes and apply it to your life, you can actually create the space for the things that you are asking for in your life. Because at the beginning of the new year, what are we asking for? Better physical health, more money, more ability to travel, more ability to have more free time, more great relationships in our life. Getting rid of the things that we don't want is a part of that. I want you to imagine that you contain a mansion. And inside that mansion, every room is completely full to the brim. That's a great situation to be in, but if you're in that situation, you no longer have any room to bring anything else in. So I want you to look at some things that you may have in your life, and I'm going to talk about something in particular that may be holding you back from getting what you do want, okay? Hello, Alan. Nice to see you. And it may be holding you back from the things that you do want, okay? So just recently, I kind of reflected on the concept as we do around New Year's. We always reflect on the victories and the things that we overcame in the previous year. And I challenge you to do that, to reflect on the victories and the things that you overcame in this past year and realize from the last year, January 1st, to this year, January 1st, how far did I really come? How much did I really grow? And I personally look at my life and say I allowed myself to enter into the process of growth where I literally jumped about 10 levels up on my personal being and who I am and who I can actually be. So for you personally, reflect on that, but also look at what you want and what you must get rid of to attract it. So here's what I did. As human beings, we are all these onions. In our experiences in life, we experience growth, and we also experience things that cause us challenges and pain. And when we visit those layers of pain, start after start after start, beginning after beginning after beginning, we begin to peel back those layers. And when you peel back a layer of something that does not serve you, you create space for something that you do want and does serve you. And just recently, I looked back in my year and I looked at all the amazing things that I had. But, I work with a few mentors here and there, people that have blessed me with their presence. And I recommend you get a mentor as well. People have blessed me with their presence and allowed me to tap into their wisdom and grow. And what they had me do was, revisit some of those challenging times and see if there's any new forgiving that you need to do. And I thought, forgiving, I've forgiven just about anybody. I've forgiven just about everybody. And I think about it, and not only must we forgive others, but we must also do one other thing, and that is forgive ourselves. And if you look back at your new year, or your previous year, you set some goals you didn't accomplish. You did some things you weren't proud of. You ended up in situations you didn't expect to be in. And many, many times we hold ourselves in a lower regard because of that. And I don't recommend you do that, because if you look back at your life right now, and if you look at where you are right now, and if you can look at it in a constructive and positive light, you'll realize that it was all absolutely perfect. The challenge is when we judge ourselves, we criticize ourselves, and we think we are somewhere else than where we are supposed to be. You may be in an uncomfortable situation right now. You might be in a situation that you don't want to be in, you didn't expect to be in. Maybe it's causing you uncomfortability, pain, whatever it may be. But you'll realize as you look back on all the challenges you had 1 year ago, you will realize that those things were paramount for where you are right now, and the success and the joy and the gratitude and the bliss and the amazing things that you're headed towards that you're now experiencing. At the time, they're very challenging. They're very painful. They're very uncomfortable. You don't want to experience that. But when you look back on it, you look back at some of the most challenging times and you say, wow, you know what? At the time, I wouldn't have enjoyed it. I wouldn't have chose it. I wouldn't have appreciated it. But now that I look back at it, there was a higher good in place, and it's now benefited me so massively, so drastically, so tremendously, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. But we have those same experiences that we peel a layer back from, and we realize there's a deeper level of forgiveness to happen. There's a deeper level of forgiveness to do. And it doesn't take some massive, esoteric, crazy, go and sacrifice a lamb type of experience to forgive yourself or somebody else. But you just need to, reach peace with, hey, you know what? That was absolutely perfect. It was okay. And that was an experience that I had. And forgive yourself and forgive another person. I'm not going to do a forgiveness workshop on here today, but I want to talk to you guys about the light side of visiting that and this experience. Just recently, I've done another round of, you know what? I wasn't perfect at that time. I made a mistake. I made a mistake in the past. I made a mistake last week. I made a mistake this morning. Hello, Carla. Nice to see you on here. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Dan. Love you all so much. I wasn't perfect in this time, and guess what? Other people around me weren't perfect either. But I want you to understand something. There are no bad people. There are no bad experiences. There are only constructive philosophies and people that serve humanity. And then there are destructive philosophies held by people to take away from humanity. Hello, Isamar. Thank you so much. Isamar is doing my social media branding. If you need any social media branding, Isamar is your girl. She can create all kinds of cool stuff for you. And yes, I look back at that and I said, you know what? I'm still holding some level of, oh, that wasn't perfect. Oh, I didn't do the right thing. Oh, and because of that, I'm lowering my self-image and actually telling myself and everything else around me that I don't deserve the thing that I'm asking for and believing for and praying for. See, many times around the New Year's, we set new goals, we set new intentions, we do get out there and we do all the constructive things, but we don't sweep out, we don't clean house, we don't hey David, my brother, my translator. By the way, Italy, I will see you guys on January 26th, my amazing family over there. Guys, that's another thing. I'm going to learn Italian. I'm going to talk to you guys about that in a second. But if you leave your house dirty and don't sweep it out, the good things aren't going to want to show up and come in. So just recently, I did another round of, nothing major, but just forgiveness to myself, to my loved ones who may have, they didn't even hurt me. They did things outside of my expectations, and because of that, I was hurt. Who's responsible? Me. Why? Because I had an expectation of another person that they didn't meet, and it was my expectation that caused the pain, not them, because remember, they weren't acting out of being a bad person. They had a different expectation than me, and because my expectation wasn't met, I then felt let down by a person. But it was my own expectation, my own attachment to a person doing a certain thing is what caused me pain. Have we all been hurt by our parents? Absolutely. Have we all been hurt by our best friends? Absolutely. Have we all been hurt by a former relationship partner? Absolutely. Have we all been hurt by ourselves? Absolutely. Have you been hurt by me? Maybe. I don't know. And if so, I'm sorry. I hope you forgive me. But for example purposes, look at all the things that have happened to you and know that they're perfect and express forgiveness for those things right now. Truthfully, if you want to, write a letter to every single, just say to everyone who's ever hurt me, I forgive you, and mean it. If you do that physically, it's going to send a message out, and it's going to set in motion something that will cause you to release, held baggage, that dirt, that junk that you're hanging on to. But the beautiful side of this is when you actually do those things. I love you, David, by the way. Hello, Victoria. Hello, cousin Brienne. Congratulations on graduating. Victoria, I see you're there in India. I want to hear about how India is going. Sounds beautiful over there. But what we do when we create space in our lives is we allow space for new and better, more shiny, more desirable things to come in. And it's the process. We can't have space for the new unless we create space for it, unless we do some spring cleaning. So for example, I went around and I did this recent bout of, you know what? Wow, I can't believe I did that. Well, I don't hold myself against it because guess what? I was operating at my highest level of belief and knowledge that I possibly could. And had I known better, guess what? I would have done better, and that's okay. Same for you. But the other side of that, the other side of letting go of what doesn't serve you and forgiving other people who may have hurt you, understanding that they were doing their best, they weren't doing anything to hurt you, they were operating out of their best system of beliefs that they had, is so beautiful. Since I've done this, I've brought in, just in the last month, I look in the last, and more specifically, I'll say 2 months, because 2 months is a more powerful period of time. The last 2.5 months since I turned 23 have been the most powerful manifesting months of my whole life. I'm sitting here looking at it and I say, oh my gosh, just recently I got to travel to Italy and London. I've got so many beautiful people that are now a part of my life. And guess what? I have another destination now, Italy and London, that I can go travel to on a regular basis, spend weeks at a time there, and have a beautiful family there. Why? Because my being realized that I deserved it, because I was willing to look back and say, you know what? Let me let go of that junk because it's no longer doing me any good. It served a purpose for a little bit, but it was all okay. It was all good. It was all perfect. And now that I've learned my lesson, I can let it go. It can just be free. And I can be free to create the next level of amazingness in my life in 2017. And guess what? I've got the most beautiful people now that I get to go see on the other side of the world. That's not it, right? Just recently, this might sound small to you, but I want you to think of things in your life that you want to transform. I've lived in my house in Houston for 3 years, and I never really did anything with it. Made it look like a home, made it look nice, made it feel good in there, made myself feel good for living there. Why? Because when I moved in, I was a 20-year-old single man, and I had no reason to do anything fancy with a house. Hey, Aunt Jody, nice to see you. Glad to see you're tuning in here. And right now we're talking about how to bring really great things into your life by moving things out that you don't necessarily want or need anymore. We outgrow things. We are living and growing human growings, right? Human becomings. And we outgrow certain things. And hey, Sarah, thank you so much. Knowledge bombs, keep on receiving them. We're growing human growings. And hey Neely, love you. Love to have you on here. You always bring the heat and energy. We're human growings. And when we grow, we outgrow certain things. And you know what? Very recently I said, you know what? I want to make my house into a place that I'd like to live in. You know what I'm doing? I'm putting a hot tub in the kitchen. Why? It's not that expensive, right? It's not to, brag. I'm buying a few $100 hot tub. Anybody could do that, right? But it's because I want it, and it makes me feel good, right? I just spent a ton of time, months and months and months, organizing the most beautiful pictures that I could imagine, and putting them all around my house that inspire me and allow me to think abundantly and positively and peacefully. Why? Because my mind and being now says I deserve a better environment to stimulate positivity, creativity, and growth, right? Another thing I did, I put fountains in my home. Why? Because it sounds good, sounds peaceful. I'm getting a surround sound put in my home. Why? Because I want to be able to listen to music in every room of the house. I'm having hammocks put, 4 hammocks put inside my house, massive bean bags put inside my house. I'm getting all these beautiful things done. I'll do a walkthrough tour of it someday when it's all completed. I'm getting a fire pit put in the back, and none of this is to brag. It's to tell you that when you create space, your mind is now available to create new things in your life. I could have thought of this 3 years ago, but my mind didn't have the space for it. It was too busy hanging on to other things to realize the possibilities that were right in front of me. Then I created that space. I said, you know what? I'm done holding on to old hurts, old pains, old energies that are just latching onto me like a rope around my ankle and no longer serving me. I'm just going to, forgive once and for all, and maybe I'll have to do another bout of it. But releasing that lower vibrational energy that is kind of pulling on your joy and your ability to show up, releasing that gives you more ability to bring in the things that you do want. Here in Minneapolis, guess what? I've lived in the same place for 18 months, and I decided, and this is just another thing, I'm just giving you guys examples. It's never to brag. It's to show you an example, okay? I've lived in the same place for 18 months, the place I'm in right now, and I decided, you know what? It's time to upgrade. It's time to do something better, and I'm doing one of two things. Number one, getting an apartment, or number two, purchasing a condo up here in Minneapolis. Why? Because I now have the creativity and space to do it. I've had a car for about 3.5 years, and up here in Minneapolis for the last week, I haven't had a car, and I've just been Ubering everywhere. And you know what I realized? Why not just get a personal driver and Uber everywhere? So what am I doing? I'm selling my car. I don't need it. And I'll tell you what's funny about it. I've had this car for 3.5 years. It's a beautiful car. It's a very nice car, and between insurance and the car payment, it's like $2,000 a month. And I never even thought about it. I just thought, no, it's a car. Everyone needs a car. I'll pay it. And then I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I could cut my expenses down by about 80%. Not 80%, 400%. If I just Ubered all over the place, I'm not ever even in Houston, maybe only 2 out of every 6 weeks. Why don't I just Uber everywhere? So guess what? The inspiration, the idea struck me, and I said, I'm gonna just sell my car. I don't even need it, right? Save myself tons of money. That's a great idea. What things are you hanging on to that are getting in your way? I'm not telling you to just sell your house, sell your possessions. I'm not telling you to fire your, employees. I'm not telling you to get a divorce. I'm not telling you to, put your dog in the adoption shelter or send your kids to boarding school. I'm telling you to reflect and forgive, because energies can be shifted at any moment. Looks like a lot of you guys dropped off. It looks like there was a drop in the connection here. Jump back on. So anyways, Randy Williams, hello. Toss, hello. Loved working with you, Toss. Randy, I'm excited to hear from you soon. But I created that space. Another great idea that came to me was, you know what? I think I could do some good to the world. Why don't I write a book? And I said, you know what? I'm going to write a book. And what is that going to do for me? It's going to increase my credibility. It's going to allow me to have another stream of income. And all I did was just say, let me put some ideas down and write it in a book. right? I said, you know what? I've got so many other projects that I'm working on, stuff that you guys will see soon, stuff that I can't even share right now, but it's just exciting and amazing. And all of this came because I was willing to clean out the baggage, clean house. We're all human. We all have hurts, doubts, fears, things that have happened to us that we didn't expect, that we held on to negatively and imprinted something negatively on. And it's slowing you down. It's time that you look at that. It's time you look at, hey, Matt, so excited. Matt, share your podcast link right now. I'm doing a podcast with Matt on Friday on leadership and entrepreneurship for young people. And among many other things, he is amazing. This guy has the voice of Elvis. I think he's like Elvis 2 right now. And he will post his link here, and you guys can listen to the podcast if you want to. We're doing it Friday at 2. Might be live, might not, I don't know, but it'll come out soon. And I think it's I think the podcast name is Good to Great, I think, or The Power of Great. The Power of Great. Tilia, hello. And with that said, what was one other thing? Hey, Beba, nice to see you. I'll be back in Italy soon, and London. Tilia, I haven't announced that yet, but there you go. I'll be back in London. I can't tell you when, but it's the beginning of February. It's coming soon. I got off track there. So, with that said, so many beautiful new things have been coming into my life because I simply took the time to reflect and say, you know what? What took inventory of the people in my life, of the relationships of my life, and the things that I've done and the feelings that I have on a consistent basis, and said, is that serving me? Oh, why is that feeling taking place? Oh, that's because I haven't forgiven myself about this certain thing. Let me go ahead and look at that. There was one other thing I wanted to share with you guys that I'm doing but anyways, just so many beautiful people, like all these people commenting. The majority of you I've met, I'd say probably 75% of you I've met in the past 3 months to 12 months. Why? Because I've created space for more to come in. And when that other idea comes to me that I was going to share with you guys, I definitely will. But this is for free. This is not for you to buy anything from me. This is not for you to, join my business. This is not for you to think of me any certain way. This is a message for you to apply to your life in this 20-minute time period that I'm talking to you for free, because the impact you give determines how amazing the world can be that you live in. Right? So if you give that impact back to the world, if you forgive somebody, you give them a gift that nobody else can give them. If you give yourself, you give yourself a gift that nobody else can give you, and your life will never be the same because of it. I'm not a very deep, overly emotional person. There's no crying about this. It's just looking at the facts and saying, wow, I'm not so happy about this. I could probably use some compassion because I did my very best and I worked very hard. I was doing the very best I could. And if it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, it's because it wasn't supposed to. It was absolutely perfectly lined up, and there's grace for every mistake you think you make. And if you look back at this situation you're in right now, and pretend you're a year in the future. Hey, Beba, I'm so excited to see you as well. If you look back a year in the future at right now, you'll if you can put yourself in that person's shoes, think about that and say, wow, you know what? It wasn't so bad. I'm grateful for that. Great stuff came out of it. Oh, I remember 2 other things. I'm hiring a new personal assistant. I'm bringing new people into my life. Just all of these projects, all of these ideas, all of these inspirations, all of these wonderful things that keep on coming in when the space is created for them. When you allow time, when you allow things to shift, things to move, and your space to be cleaned out and cleansed, and then you set your intention and you set your sights on the things that you do want in the future, they show up. ideas, inspirations, things that you never would have imagined. Oh, duh, totally forgot. Business. Business is booming. How can you create a more successful life by just doing something simple like forgiving? That's weird. Emotions have nothing to do with business. Wrong. Your being has everything to do with your business. And if you are able to master your state and how you're feeling and the things that you hang on to and allow yourself to experience the more relaxed, flow, abundant, peaceful, joyful feelings, you'll bring great things into your life that you won't have to strive for. They'll just show up. Why? Because the space is there. When there's a vacuum created, energy and matter immediately fills it. So create that vacuum, but don't get rid of the things that are good for you. Don't get rid of the feelings and the positivity that are great for you or that are still serving you, but look at what no longer is serving you and just reflect on what can you forgive yourself for and truly forgive yourself for it, because this is everything. Your own self-image determines what you literally allow yourself to see. If you don't believe you deserve something or are allowed to have something, the way the mind is set up at this time, we develop scotomas that block us from even realizing, even conceptualizing, rationalizing, or being able to handle the things that we want. And it's like they don't even exist. It's like they don't even exist. It's kind of like night vision goggles. You know what I'm saying? If me and you were out in a field and we were, on a scavenger hunt and you didn't have night vision goggles and I had night vision goggles and I was able to see in my night vision goggles the exact item I was looking for, I would find it, and you would wander around in the same pitch black field for days and weeks and months and years and decades and generations and lifetimes after just for time on end, not being able to find what you're looking for. Even though you said, you know what? My mind says I'm supposed to find love or success, and I'm going to look for it, but guess what? Your vision is off. You can't see it because your self-image is off, and you can't see it because your mind won't allow you to receive it. It's just not going to happen, right? So this is not so much about forgiving other people. And one thing I realized, one thing one of my mentors told me was, you know what, Jacob, you're really good at forgiving yourself. So I don't have this problem. I don't want to say like I don't have this problem, but I do have this problem. But they said you're really good at forgiving yourself. But other people, excuse my language, but they beat the shit out of themselves for their mistakes. And Neely loved that one. I'm just kidding. She pushed the love at the exact time. But anyways, I say that just to drive the point home. Most people, it might not be you, but most people really beat themselves up because they think they're supposed to be perfect. Newsflash, it ain't gonna happen. You're not gonna predict this thing. Currently, you don't have all the information. When you depending on your beliefs, one day you might. When you leave the earth, but currently you don't. You don't have all the information. You're here to play a game and experience and learn and grow and make an impact on this world. And if you treat it as such and look at every experience as a game and as beautiful and as growthful rather than, oh, this had to happen for me to reach my goal, or this had to happen, no, this hasn't happened, I'm just lost without this person, I'm lost without this success, this growth. Well, two sides of that. One, if you think that way, it's going to be that way. But number two, it's not the case. Hello, Kendall. Beautiful to see you on here. Haven't talked to you in so long. Would love to hear how your life is going. And it's not the case. Detach from those experiences. They're not owning you. They don't make you. They don't define you. They refine you. And if you just, hey, Will, nice to see you again. I'll be in London beginning of February. They refine you. They don't define you. So if you can look at them, grow at them, and experience them, release them, and be grateful. I'm not asking you to, break down today and just, cry about, all the times in the past that you've had challenges, but forgive yourself. Let it go. It's all good, bro. There's no problems. You are perfect. Everything is going to be okay. All you need to do is create that space. Mr. Bugs, my business partner, my mentor, my coach, one of the most amazing people on this planet, the most powerful public speaker I've ever met, the most genuine, caring, just human being you'll ever meet, said the other day, ladies especially, forgive yourself. Ladies especially. Hello, Apollo. Thank you for the like. Thank you for the inspiration for this video. Ladies, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself especially. I don't know what it's like to be a lady. I thank you, Apollo. I appreciate you so much. You're the one who inspired this. I don't know what it's like to be a lady, but I know in particular from the ladies that I know, we're never good enough. We're never tall enough. We're never skinny enough. We're never tan enough. We're never, toned enough. We're never, this enough, that enough, whatever enough. Forgive yourself. It's all good. You have the total package. Own it. And for the men, the providers, or whatever role you take, you're right on track. You're right on course. Don't quit. Keep going. Create some space. Allow good to come. I look around this place that I'm in right now, my apartment here, and you know what? We just did some great cleaning, and it feels really good. It feels really good that there's space. There's not all this, crumbs. Say we didn't vacuum in a while. Say there were crumbs. There's no crumbs. Feng shui your life. Clear it out. By the way, I recommend all of you feng shui your house, and that's all I'm going to say about that, because I did, and I feel amazing. There's real truth to that. A couple people I know that can help you if you're looking. Apollo and also my friend Julie Burris, amazing with feng shui. Apollo is a master with feng shui. And what it is, it's just clearing the junk out of your house and setting things in place to where you're, I guess, experiencing the most energetic flow in the place that you're living. Simple science. It's easy stuff. Asians, not the Asians, but the Chinese perfected it. They know all about it. They know a lot. But tidy it up, tidy up your life. Forgive, let go. Emotions that you're hanging on to as baggage don't serve you or anybody. Let them go. Realize that you did your best. Everybody else did their best. Nobody else could have done any differently. And just make peace with it. It's all good. Hey, Taylor and Melissa, it's all good. And if you forgive yourself truthfully and let yourself relax for the things that you did that weren't perfect, but have now shaped you and allowed you to grow into the person that you are, you realize that it was supposed to happen anyway. And with all of that happened, hey Neely, with all of that happened, you're in the perfect position right now. Nothing can stop you. Just keep on doing it. Keep on doing it. But by allowing yourself to experience that forgiveness, you get your night vision goggles, you'll get your GPS, you'll get exactly what you need to attract exactly what you want, exactly into your life at exactly the right time with very little stress, and just without striving for it. Great message, Jacob. It was great to meet you in London. Forgiveness of self is decluttering your consciousness. Write a dear self letter. Forgive yourself. Burn it. Bury the ashes. Powerful exercise. We can do it. Anybody can do it. And that's literally saying, you know what? I did that, and I forgive it. And you put a funeral to your own unforgiveness of yourself. When you forgive yourself, this is so powerful. I'm a business leader. I'm not an emotional teacher, but this is my message for you. If you do this, you can experience business success. You can experience the freedom to travel the world. You can experience the freedom of peace of mind, of waking up when you're done sleeping. You can experience great people coming into your life that see your value. You can experience financial freedom. You can experience great health. Why? because by getting your stuff in order, your life begins to align based on your own image for yourself, and how you treat yourself. How you treat yourself is how other people see you. Peter, so great to see you. By the way, Peter, your coffee is on the way. I'm sorry, I had a mishap and didn't do it. My bad, 100%. Your coffee is on the way. Happy New Year. Peter runs like 10 miles a day. I mean, he's amazing fitness guy. Tough Mudder champion. Something like, I don't know the name of it exactly, but that's my message for you guys. Any questions? I'll hang out for about 3 more minutes. I've got a little bit of work to do this evening, but it's been major reflection and planning mode for this year for myself, and I'm ready for life. I'm ready for big things. Forgiving myself and increasing my self-image has given me all the ideas in the world to be massively financially successful just in the last couple months. Why? Because I'm ready for it. My mind now sees myself as that leader and that strong, powerful person that I know I am. And finally, my image has caught up to my thoughts. So now things are absolutely blowing up. Momentum is bigger than it's ever been. And we're helping so many people all over the world accomplish their dreams. So that's my final message for you guys. Ollie, hello. Nice to see you. Any questions at all about anything? Would love to answer them. This is my gift to you. Like I said, this is not for you to think of me in any certain way. I'm the messenger. The message is beautiful, but I'm the messenger. Look at the message, feel the message. This is not for you to join my business, to buy anything from me. Share this. If you think somebody could find value from this, put it out there for them. You're the one who gets the energetic credit for that, because you're the one who actually put it in their hands, and it's going to come back to you. That's why I do this, so I can make the world a better place. And I encourage you to share this, or just give it to somebody who might need to know it or see it. Because if you clear out that space for year 2017, it's like you're going to have an open mansion for all these things that you want to come into. But if you have a stuffed mansion, you can set all the goals that you want. You can do all the things that you want. You can say all the prayers that you want. But you have no space. It's not going to happen. It's going to be very challenging. You're going to have to fight. And I'd rather flow than fight. That's my view. Flow, don't fight. Write that down in your journal. So I just channeled down some great information. I thank God for the message that I received so that I could give to the world. And Tommaso, I love Tommaso! Tommaso, my man! Tommaso is amazing. Superstar over there in Italy. One of my best friends in the world. So excited to see you in a few short weeks here. Tommaso, if you guys want one of the most exciting, positive people in the world, Tommaso is your guy. Anybody else? Any questions about anything? Flow, don't fight. Create that space inside of your life mansion. Whatever you want will flow in. And by the way, there's no bad questions. Like, nobody's going to laugh at you because you ask specific questions. Nobody's going to say, oh, you can't forgive. This is an open platform, and that's what we're talking about. So feel free to ask. I'll stick on for another 60 seconds here. And life is just so much more beautiful when you can give and share. So I truly encourage you, give this to somebody. It's the new year. And so many people are carrying around a 500-pound bag of crap that is just weighing them down, and they're stuck about something they did in 1993, and now they're, feeling like crap about it. It's time to let it go. Well, no questions coming in. I don't see any, and if there are, just press the like button or love button or something so I don't see anything else. But that's what's going on, guys. Love you all. So much heart and gratitude going into each and every one of you. I appreciate you guys. Look out for amazing things coming your way in 2017. Beautiful things are yours now if you can receive them. Find your message and share it with the world. Love you guys. God bless.